I've been at Promises 9 years. Oh, the alcoholic, sorry. I've been at Promises for 9 years, and I was just looking at the sheet Patricia did. We had 36 beds when I started. Now we have 92. That's amazing. And 5 years ago when Dr. David Sack came in, I was a little hesitant because I'm a Richard Rogge fan, and I was nervous that it was going to no longer be a 12-step program, or it was going to change the philosophy, and was it going to be in line with my integrity, and how are we going to do this? Well, clearly 5 years later, it's still in line with our integrity because I'm still here. And so many things this year. Since last year, we opened the Malibu Vista program. So I'm going to give the bullet points, and I'm going to let Patricia do the intents. We opened the Malibu Vista program, which is a women's psychiatric facility, which means Promises is usually known as the chemical dependency place to go. We now have 2 houses that are dedicated to psychiatric for women, which means you don't have to have a chemical dependency to come to us anymore, if you're a woman. And the good news is there's a lot of great places in California that we can refer to, and other states that we can refer to if you're a male with psychiatric issues. So currently we only take women in that program. We also this year opened the SED program, which is the Sex and Intimacy Disorder program, which is headed up by Rob Weiss, who some of you may know, who is, by the way, speaking in England in November. You guys are all welcome to come. And Rob Weiss started the SRI program, which is now under the Elements umbrella also, which is the Sexual Recovery Institute. He's written a bunch of books, and he's also was supervised by Patrick Carnes. So he's an amazing human being, and we're excited about that. That program is only for men. And some people think it's only for homosexual men. That is not true. Most of our population that have come in have been in their 40s, heterosexual men. So that is not the case. Most people think that. That's not what it is. We still have our professionals program. Most of you know Jamie Deans. We still have Dr. Greg Skipper. That program is in Santa Monica. It has its own location and its own residences. So it is separate from the other programs. However, if you need to detox, you will go to Malibu. Those guys and girls, males and females, go to our alumni meeting in Malibu. We have 2 alumni meetings, Malibu and West LA, and the PTP fits in with the Malibu program. The thing about the trauma program, when we realized we were opening the women's psychiatric facility, all these women were coming in with trauma, and we really wanted a specialist in trauma. So we brought on Dr. Christine Courtois. I don't know if you know her, but she's written 27 books on trauma, so she knows her stuff. Hopefully next year we'll get her to speak at UCASAD. That's my goal. So that's some of the new top things that are happening this year. And the other piece was the young adult program, which I'm going to let Patricia talk about because it's her baby. And speaking of alumni, I know we were talking about that recently. I'm lucky enough to supervise our Director of Alumni Services, and Patricia is humongous in that department. And besides the things that we do, besides the newsletter and the meetings we have out-of-state meetings, which are in New York, San Francisco, and Arizona right now. So we are trying to expand. But again, we had 36 beds for 25 years, or 20 years, and now we have 92. So we include our other programs. Elements owns the ranch, the Recovery Place, and the Right Step, and so we include them in our out-of-state alumni meetings. So they're welcome to come to our Promises alumni meetings. And I was in London in November, and we had an alumni meeting, and we had like 10 alumni. And this one young lady said to me, I didn't have the money to stay at Promises, and I was afraid to come back to London because it wasn't a safe place for me at that time. And Patricia Myers said to me, you don't have to pay, honey, you can stay. And she stayed, and now she has 5.5 years. And she also didn't want to come and have dinner with me. And she had made a commitment to me, and she said, Pat Womack, who's our counselor, who's been with us since we opened, Pat Womack told me once I make a commitment, I should show up. And she showed up. And those are the things that I'm like, now I know why I do what I do. Now I know why I work at 10 p.m. and 1 in the morning. And I'm so grateful I can't even talk anymore. So I'm going to let Patricia take over.
Yeah, Patricia! Hi, guys. So I've been with Promises since 1997. I had a year clean. I came in as a driver. We had 12 beds, and Malibu wasn't even on the radar. So it's been quite a journey for me personally and professionally. And as Lee mentioned, when Richard Rogge, kind of passed his baby on, and Dr. David Sack came in, he's been and continues to be my direct mentor. and all the things that, we had talked about, and kind of, how do we, hunker down and really think about this differently, because we are in the fight of our life, as we all know, with the disease of addiction. And as Lee mentioned, the young adult program is something that's very near and dear to my heart, because these young knuckleheads are, I want to slap the shit out of them, actually, most of the time, but I don't. But we've been doing some really amazing things. A lot of us talk about, there is no one size fits all for anybody, and we are definitely not the right fit for everybody. And one of the things that we talk about, it's so hard. 3 unique things that we do. Okay. I have about 10, but I'll try to stick to the 3, is that, I'm one of 5. I have a 5-member team on the ground, 24/7, 7 days a week we do admissions. But it's a 3-month training process for my team, any team member that comes onto my team before they can get on a call, before they can be face-to-face with a client. Why? Because for me, for us, as an organization, there's nothing worse than a failed admission, that a client winds up at Promises and we're not the right fit for them. That's why we're all here. I love, 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 love hearing about, what everybody's doing, because we have to stay so, progressive in our thinking and what we're doing. I mean, we're all doing a lot of the same things, but what are we doing that's really special? And for us, we've been very busy. The women's psych program is really special. We were talking about people that come in that turn the place upside down due to all of their dysregulation, emotional dysregulation. Well, we identified that demographic, and these women, we were having to refer them out. They came in because they were, abusing something, but it wasn't their primary. And now we have a dedicated house for them. It's so, so special. And then Promises West LA. Most people don't know that is the original Promises. This January, it'll be 26 years that we're there. We have always targeted a young demographic. And we decided, in a lot of strategic meetings about a year ago, let's go for it. Let's move this boulder uphill and figure out what we need to do. We brought in ed consultants, we brought in lots of people. And what is the formula? What is the thing that works? Besides a kick in the ass. You can't just kick them in the ass, right? Because it wasn't working. And I have to tell you, it is so incredible. Promises, we have 2 clients right now. I was telling John last night. One client who now has 375 days, and he's been with us. Another client who has 370 days. And then we have another 3 clients that are right behind them, 1 with 7 months, 2 with 6 months. And this is what this is all about. And what is that formula? When I think about this, it's about community. Everything is about community. Clients' feedback is when they turn the street on Barrington, they feel safe. What 25-year-old says they feel safe when they turn the corner? Creating that secure base, continuity of care, the continuum of working with the clinical team, and accountability. Service. We are very big into service. We started a program. We're working with this company. It's called the Wolf Connection. Wolves, yes, they're real wolves. And it's similar to kind of equine therapy, but it's the use of wolves. And we kind of ran out of time, and we can talk more about it. Our ambassador program, there is something very unique. We have an alumni ambassador program. We have a family ambassador program. And these are really special people that they are so wanting to give back to Promises, and we handpick these people and help them to help others in service, how to help a family member, how to help another young struggling person, and share your experience, strength, and hope. Insurance, just really quickly. Promises, we're not contracted, but we're doing things that we've never ever done before in terms of a dedicated team that is doing the pre-auths and the URs. So we're looking at, $15,000 estimated contribution. We'll deduct that on the front end. We will never backbill. And it takes a village. It takes an absolute village to help each and every client and every family member. And it is an honor for us to be here, a part of this village. John, thank you so much. You're amazing. And I think at the end of the day, we're all looking for people that we can trust. We refer to people. This is relational. And I'm honored to be a part of this. We are.
2 things. One, we have a family meeting that is free for the rest of their lives on Wednesday night, run by 2 licensed clinicians that are at Promises. If they're not local, then they can come in for that meeting. It's every week. And then some of those people sponsor the other folks in Al-Anon that don't live in California. And then we follow our alumni for 1 year, no matter what, but then we also keep them part of the loop. We continue to call them once a month forever. And then we're doing an outcome study, because David Zak is a big outcome guy, research guy, and so we're doing an outcome study, and we're happy to share that at the end of it. It's for 3 years.
Are you the people who wrote the book, The Cure?
Very fun.
And Rick,
No, we did not write that book.
and, hey Rick, you brought home a parrot. I brought home a cat that was loaded. And when the cat woke up after being loaded because the client drugged the cat attacked me. So talk about going to any lengths, right?
They work really hard at what they do, and it's a great facility. They got them all over town as far as you guys do a great job up there. And I always love the calls when I get them because you're international, and I love that part. Thanks, you guys. Any other questions?